For over 200 days, starting in early November of 2018, I sat down in a room, probably this one, and did something that basically I had never done before. Now, I had read a book about this thing. I had seen a podcast about it. I had engaged in content around it. It was interesting. And it's something like this. But I never really got into the side of it. It's called meditation. Now, what's interesting about meditation is that it was something that when starting, I enjoyed it. But I downloaded a handful of apps in July of the year past and didn't like one because of someone's voice or just couldn't keep up with it. And then I downloaded another app called Calm.com, enjoyed it, but some days I would forget to do it. Then in November, I was at an event called Start Peninsula, and one of the backers of this app, Jason Calacanis, don't ask me how to spell that. I think you can just find him at Jason everywhere on the internet. He talked about it, and I was like, all right, I'll give it another try, right? And so I gave it a try on that Monday following. I saw him, met him on a Friday night, and did it on a Monday. And then I did it on a Tuesday, and then a Wednesday, and then a Thursday. And the cool thing about this app is it has this calendar tracker where it will tell you, hey, like you've done it. And so next thing I know, I'm at 1 week, and it says, oh, congratulations, you're at 1 week. And then I would do that. Literally, it was like one of the first things I would do in the morning. I would meditate. Well, and you really just follow this thing. And basically, I guess it's you wake up and you just refresh your day. Meditation is for for people to take it however they want to, right? But the key to this is that I kept doing it literally each and every day. And I can remember on a handful of days where I would have forgotten, but somewhere in the middle of the day, I would remember to do it and then go do it. And then this takes 10 to 12 minutes a day. Literally, one of the first things I would do in the morning, I'd probably make coffee and then just start meditating. And then, literally, the last day that I recall meditating was about 200 plus days later, and it was the morning of my Ironman race. And it wasn't the greatest of meditations, and I can't remember why. But then literally since then, I've done it once. So we're 4 months past that, and I just haven't done it. So what happens? Well, I think habits just start happening really, really quickly. So I would do it that one day. I did it that last day, and then I didn't that next Monday for whatever reason. Then Tuesday, nope. Wednesday, nope. Thursday, nope. It was like a month went by before I tried it again. And I was like, all right. And then the next day, nope. And so it's so crazy how we get into these rhythms and they become like this thing on our calendar. And then very, very quickly, you stop them and they're not on your calendar anymore. It's like how many people have a gym membership but never go to the gym. But if you start going to the gym, you go every single day. Right? It's one of the reasons why I feel like I have to do some sort of physical activity each and every day, because if I stop, I'll probably stop for a long time. Right? And what's interesting is it actually happens here and in business, right? So I started this show 3 or 4 years ago, and I did it on a frequency that the quantity kept going. So it would be once a week. Then I think I did twice a week, and then I was doing every weekday, and then I scaled back on that a little bit because it was too much. But what I learned was that as soon as I slowed down, I would find an excuse as to why I didn't have to do that thing anymore. I'd be like, I don't do it. I can't think of what to say over and over and over again. And if you stop that habit, if you stop doing that task that you want, you will actually create a new habit. And so some interesting stats. I meditated 200 plus days in a row. And then basically for 120 days, I haven't meditated since. And maybe it's even more. I had 300 plus episodes of this show. And guess what? Kind of stopped for a little while. Why? Not because I didn't enjoy it. Not because I didn't want to do it. it just became the new routine. And so you stop doing it. Guess what happens? You stop doing it. And one thing that I thought was interesting when I read this book by, I believe his name is James Clear, Atomic Habits. And it says this dialogue in your head is very, very interesting. And so let's say it's someone's not smoking, right? If someone says, I'm not smoking right now, that's still giving yourself an out. Oh, I'm not working out right now. Oh, I'm doing a 30-day cleanse, right? There's always a day at the end of the tunnel where you're going to go back to that bad, negative thing. Instead, you would have to just say, I don't work out, or I work out every day, or I don't smoke, or I don't insert whatever word. And so that was really interesting to me when I was listening to James Clear's book called Atomic Habits while I was in, those 200 days of meditation, by the way. I thought it was interesting that was the one thing that really stuck with me, is how you kind of brainwash your brain to say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do. Yes, I work out every single day. Imagine if you were to do something so frequently, like every single day of your life, and then you go, well, I don't do that right now. You're giving yourself outs. And so I thought that was really interesting. And so if you're trying to start habits, you have to start it, right? If you want to start something new, you have to do that thing once, right? Then you have to do it twice. And so usually what happens is starting it is the easy part at the very beginning. There's people out there that will do, they love to start new things. Oh, I'm going to start this new email newsletter. Oh, I'm going to start this new business. I'm going to start working out. Oh, I'm going to stop quitting. I'm going to quit smoking cigarettes. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. And they do it, and then they quit, right? And look, I've done this myself. I'm kind of admitting it for the show for a part where it's like, hey, like the frequency that you guys are used to this, I screwed up and I let that habit that I'm talking about now continue. And so for me to get this thing rolling again the way that I want, I have to start doing it in the frequency that I promised, right? And so you just got to do that. And so as hard and as difficult it is, the more time that you spend not doing it, the more likely it is that you aren't going to continue it. So you have to do it. First, I like to do things first in the morning or as early in the day as possible so that it's not 5, 6, 10 o'clock and I'm like, oops, forgot to do that. So if there's something that you want to do, start doing it. If there's something out there that you have been contemplating, do the no days off way, right? Do it so that you set the frequency, put it on your calendar, and make it happen. Because otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to start it, you're going to enjoy it, then you're going to stop it, and then you're like, oh, I remember when I used to do that, and then it went away. So you really can't take days off, or you have to at least set a frequency that is going to be viable for you, and you have to speak to that, and you have to live it, and you have to do it. So habits are wild, but they're very true. And it's crazy. That's all I got. You guys like my beard? Miller out. Peace.